बोलिए सतगुरु महाराज जी की जय, सच्चे दरबार की जय. In life, whatever path we choose to walk on, whatever goals we have in life, in order to reach those goals, in order to gain success on the path that we walk on, one key element is required, and that key element is faith. To have faith in our choices, to have faith in our actions, and to have faith on the path that we are walking on. Only then we will attain success, we will reach our destination. Faith works as a fuel, just like in a car. No matter how expensive that car is, no matter how good or powerful that car is, if there's no gas in it, if there's no fuel in it, you cannot take it anywhere. And instead of becoming a luxury in our life, helping us traveling the destinations that we need to travel to reach our goal, it becomes a burden. So even in life, the things that we do, the destinations we want to reach, the goals we want to succeed in, it requires faith. Same exact way, on a spiritual journey, it also requires faith. Especially on a spiritual journey, it requires great continuous faith. Because without that, you have no fuel. Without the fuel, you cannot go and travel the distance that you need to travel in order to reach your destination. In order to self-realize, in order to gain spiritual heights, you're going to need continuous, strong and steady faith. When we embark on a spiritual journey, first of all, in order to kindle the flame inside, in order to have that divine experience, it requires to have a spiritual guidance, a spiritual teacher, a guru, a realized being who can open the gates and make us realize the divinity and make us experience that divine light within by opening the third eye, the 10th door. When the gate is open, one becomes capable of traveling inside. One can go on a journey within and realize the divinity that exists in our own hearts. One is able to gain spiritual heights and gain spiritual realizations and eventually gain self-realization where one can become one with the divine. But in order to reach those great heights, and in order to travel that distance that exists between us and the divine, one requires fuel, and that is faith. Faith in the Master, faith in the knowledge that He gives, the divine knowledge He imparts, through which one is able to experience that divine insight, and faith in God. Without that, one can put all the efforts in, but yet they will come short of gaining and reaching those heights that one intends to reach. And when we embark on the spiritual journey and we start to gain more and more spiritual experiences and start to realize the divinity in our own selves, faith develops and faith strengthens. Because without your own experience, that faith cannot be strengthened. Just by hearing, just by listening, just by reading, faith cannot be strengthened. It only gets strengthened when those divine experiences are experienced by yourself, in your own self, in your inner world. That faith will strengthen. Otherwise, people say that they have faith, but when hard times fall, when things happen not according to their wishes and wants, the trust breaks, the faith is shaken, and we find ourselves in the midst of pain and suffering. Whereas it doesn't matter what happens, good or bad, what we want, what we do not want. If you have faith, one does not suffer. One does not drown in the sorrows and the pains that this world has to offer. One always stays afloat. And this faith will strengthen through our hard work, and when we will travel in the depths of our own heart, only then we will know what faith is all about and what faith holds in its hands. Once there was a tightrope walker, Charles Blondin. He was a great rope walker, and once he declared that he would walk across Niagara Falls, 1100 feet walk, a rope suspended in the air, 160 feet high. Hearing this, people were shocked that he would walk over Niagara Falls, 160 feet high and 1100 feet long. There is a great chance that he would fall and even lose his life. On top of that, he said he will walk the rope without holding anything to balance himself. And that was even a greater shock to the public. Time came, 25,000 people gathered to see, some for the excitement, some to see him succeed, and even some see him fail at his attempt. Finally, that day came, people gathered, and he was ready to walk. When he initially stepped on that rope, his body shook. The great balance that he needs was not there. Seeing him imbalanced on that beginning of his journey, people were shocked. People had doubts that he will fall and he will lose his life. But as he starts and he warms up and he starts walking the rope, he gained that balance that he needed. He was walking, and he was walking without any safety, without any harness, without any net. And that was even the bigger shock to the public. As he walked slowly and people gazing upon him, he crossed Niagara Falls and he reached the other side. And people applauded and they screamed that he has won. He has gained the success that he said he would gain. He crossed the Niagara Falls without any safety, without any balancing support. And people were happy and they were cheering his name that he's a great walker. But he kicked up his challenge another notch. He took a wheelbarrow and he started walking on the rope again. And he took the wheelbarrow to the other side and then brought it back. And people could not believe that how could you walk a rope 1100 feet over Niagara Falls, 160 feet high, with the wheelbarrow and without any safety. And people cheered his name and they knew that he's a great and fantastic rope walker. And they believed in him. And they trusted that he could do it whenever he wanted to. When Charles asked the public if they trust him, if they believe, if they have faith in him, everyone cheered and there was a loud sound of yeah in the air. But the next question that he posed, there was a pin drop silence. And do you know what that question was? He said, "Who would volunteer and sit in this wheelbarrow and I will take you across?" There was ah, there was ooh, but then there was pin drop silence and nobody volunteered. It is only we say the words that we have faith, that we have trust. But when the moment comes, when that moment arrives where our faith will be tested, only then we can know how much faith did we have. If we have full, complete, unshaken faith, then it would be easy for us to get in that wheelbarrow and says, yes, I have faith. that you can take me across in that wheelbarrow. But no, people only said they had faith in him, but they really inside did not believe. They were not able to put their life on line. But there was one person who got into that wheelbarrow, and that was Charles's assistant, his manager. He knew that Charles is capable of taking him across Niagara Falls in that wheelbarrow. And he got in without a second doubt. And Charles did exactly what he thought. He took him across in that wheelbarrow. So why did his manager volunteer? From his own experience. He had seen Charles in action. He knew his ability. He knew his capability. He knew his strength and what he was capable of. And from his life's experience, he had developed faith, strong, unshaken, continuous faith in his heart that he was able to risk his life because he knew that he will take him across without any harm. Same exact way, until we do not experience the spiritual, divine elevations inside, how our faith will strengthen, how our faith will become strong and unshaken, even in the moments where things don't go exactly the way we want. It will shake if you do not have your own experience. That is why meditation is necessary and required if you want to strengthen your faith. Traveling and going on a journey within and experiencing the divinity and seeing the grace of the Master, because all the elevations, all the experiences will come only when He will bless. Only when He will take your hand and pick you up and make you see life from a higher perspective and see what you are capable of and what you hold in your heart. Only then faith will strengthen. Otherwise, you will believe that you have faith. But at the moment you will be tested, or at the moment when things do not go according to your own mind, that faith will be shaken, that faith will break. On a spiritual journey, know one thing very clearly, that without the grace of the Guru, without the blessings of the Master, one cannot go very far on this path. We must hold on to Him. Actually, we should let Him hold on to us. We are very used to in life holding on to things. But then time comes when we let go. But if we let Him hold on to us, it is guaranteed that He will not let go until we reach our destination. Just like a monkey, when monkey has a baby, wherever the mother goes, the baby climbs on the back of the mother and holds on. While the mother jumps from one tree to the other, the baby holds on to the mother very tightly. But there are some times when the baby is unable to hold and the hands slip and the baby falls and gets hurt. But if you look at the cat, the baby does not hold on to the mother. The cat holds the baby in its mouth, in its jaw, and carries the baby everywhere. But never a single time occurs that the baby falls and gets hurt, because now the mother is carrying the baby. The baby is not holding on to the mother. So on this path, have this much faith so you could surrender completely, so you could give the reins of your life in the hand of a guru, so you could become victorious, so you could be successful on this journey. Just like Arjuna gave his reins of his life in the hands of Lord Krishna, and we all know that at the end he became victorious even against all the odds. So have enough faith, have that much faith that you could surrender completely. Once a guru and a disciple were going on a journey. On their way, they had to go through a jungle, they had to pass a forest. And while they were walking through the jungle, the night fell. So the Guru told the disciple that we will rest and in the morning we will continue our journey. We will take turns. They sat underneath a tree. The master said, we will take turns and one will guard while the others sleep because we are in the wild. So first the master rested and in the middle of the night he woke up and told the disciple to take rest and he will guard. While the disciple lay down to rest, Master sat beside him to safeguard. Soon after, Master sees a snake coming towards them. And from inside, Master knew that the snake is coming to harm his disciple, to bite him. So the Master spoke to the spirit of the snake that do not harm my disciple. He is my disciple. Do not harm him. Do not bite him. And the spirit spoke to the Master that over many lifetimes, this has been continued. He becomes human, he harms me. I become human, I harm him. And now I am destined to drink his blood and bring harm to him. So the Master says, what if I give you the blood without you biting him? And the snake accepted the offer of the Master. So the Master took a dagger out, sat on his disciple's neck to cut and take his blood. While he was about to do it, the disciple opened his eyes. And what does he see? His guru, his master, sitting on him with the dagger in his hand. Now, if you were in his shoe, how would you feel? That someone sitting, someone you care about, someone you love, sitting while you are sleeping, sitting on your chest with the dagger in their hand. Yes, you would freak out. Yes, you would get up. Yes, you would yell, what is going on? But that disciple did not do that. When he saw his guru sitting on him with the dagger in his hand, he closed his eyes again, pretended that he is asleep. What Master did, he made a small cut on his neck, took little bit blood and gave to the snake. The snake drank the blood and went away. Master put a bandage on his neck and continued on with the night. In the morning, the disciple got up and they started walking again. But he did not question, he did not ask, he did not have any lines of doubt on his forehead or a glimpse of anything in his eyes. But he continued walking with the Master. Little time after, the Master asked, son, don't you want to know what happened that night? The disciple replied, Master, I have complete faith in you. I have surrendered my life in your feet. Whatever you do with this life, it is your choice. I am sure that whatever you did had a great reason, and it was for my own benefit, for my own upliftment. So the Master smiled and he says, son, that is true. And he narrated the whole story to him, that the snake was going to bite him and was going to harm him. But he made a deal with the snake and gave his blood to him to save his life. The disciple fell in his feet and thanked him so much and said, oh Lord, I knew you were trying to uplift me. I knew you were trying to help me. But you were blessing me with another chance at life. I could not even have imagined that. Guru said, it is only because of your unshaken faith. It is only because of your continuous faith that I'm able to save you. I'm able to uplift you. So, my dear friends, do we have that type of faith in our life? Do we have that much trust in our own Guru, in our own Master? And what we need to do in order to strengthen that faith, that is to educate ourselves what requires on this path, what will help us uplift, and then implementing those guidelines in our own lives. Great Saint Aristotle beautifully said, he said, educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. Now, what does that mean? Educating the mind without educating the heart. The divine thoughts that you hear, the satsang, the discourses, the great stories from the past, from the disciples' lives and saints' lives that we hear is only to educate the mind. But educating the mind does not strengthen the faith. It is when we will educate the heart. How? Through meditation. Only when we take this knowledge, the fire that the Guru lights inside, when we kindle that flame, and that flame becomes intense, and it blazes inside of our own heart, and burns away all the negativity. And when we are able to cleanse this mind and heart, then this knowledge will go into your own heart, and that knowledge will convert into unshakable faith. And that faith will become your fuel to even rise more and make that flame even bigger. And that when that fire will blaze inside of your own heart, all the deeds, all the karmas will burn away. All the negativity will burn away. And then purity will exist. And pure in the heart shall see the kingdom of God. And that is how we become self-realized. That's how we become one with that divine power that we are born to become. It is to strengthen the faith. It is through meditation. It is through faith in the Master and in His knowledge, and practicing that knowledge will take you to your destination. So my dear friends, if you lack faith, meditate. Have this much faith that meditation will take you to your destination. Have faith in the knowledge that Guru has given you, because only that knowledge will take you deeper in your own heart and make you see the divine power that you are and for the purpose that you are born, and that is to unite with the divine power and become one. And that is called liberation. That is called self-realization. So dear friends, if you lack faith, meditate. And meditate as much as you can. And feed your faith through meditation. And when you will feed your faith, all the doubts, all the fears will starve to death. And that's where we become free. When there is no fear in life, and when there is no doubt exist in any corners of our mind and heart, we are ready to merge with that divine power. Know one thing deep in your heart, that the divine knowledge that the Guru gave you is perfect. Your Guru, your Master is perfect. And when you will go on a journey within and practice that knowledge, you will reach perfection. You will experience bliss in your own life, and that experience is unforgettable. So, if anything is worthwhile in this life, is knowing your own self. So, dear friends, meditate, feed the faith, starve the doubts and the fears to death, and you will reach the greatest height in life. So continue meditating, and until next time, God bless. Jai Maharaji ki to everyone.